Does food affect people the same way? So, good question. We decided to strap continuous glucose monitors, or not strap them on, stick them on, and test our two very different bodies while eating the same exact foods all day long. And we tested each hour with these things. So we're going to share those results with you, which they were pretty surprising, I think, in this video.
So we did the same thing all day, spent the day together. We did not exercise intentionally, and I had some work on my computer. You had work on your computer, working toward your certified functional medicine practitioner certification, and which you will be completing hopefully in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
So as soon as your testing is complete, we will be announcing that you are a certified functional
As long as I can pass the test.
That's right. So high five.
Yeah.
Then we got up bright and early and we tested our blood glucose using our continuous glucose monitors. These things are pretty nifty. It hooks up to a app on our phone, and literally that was it. He just took a test. So this allowed us to test our blood glucose every hour throughout the day, eating the exact same foods. And so here's what happened. So right after that, you made us some eggs.
Yep, scrambled eggs, 4 eggs each with a little bit of bacon, some diced onion and pepper. They were delicious.
Yep. And so what happened with our blood glucose?
So our blood glucose had a little bit of a rise, but not much. I mean, we started pretty low first thing in the morning.
Yep.
We kind of expect that, right? I mean, it's mostly fat and protein.
Yeah. So right off the bat, our blood glucoses, both of them were doing what we expected, a little bit of a peak and then come down.
Yep.
Then we had a bar, a Atkins chocolate-covered chocolate chip cookie dough bar.
With 3 net carbs.
So it had 3 net carbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is 3 hours after so we were spacing our tests 3 hours.
Right. Yeah, so it has 3 net carbs, but what was it, 32 like total carbs.
Right.
So I'm thinking right off the bat, right? So I'm thinking, well, this thing is going to like skyrocket our blood glucoses. And I did have a pretty significant jump. And of course, you did not, because you can never ever give me the satisfaction of coming on here on YouTube and doing one of these tests and having your metabolism do what I expect it to do. You like never ever make it easy.
Marriage is wonderful.
So you didn't have much of a jump at all.
No.
Yeah, and your blood glucose was staying pretty low. Mine, that was by far my biggest.
Yeah,
my
you
biggest
shot up
hop
like 20 points or something.
Yeah.
But so this thing had 32 grams of carbs and then 3 net carbs. Had a lot of sugar, alcohol in it. It had a lot of sucralose in it. We could not identify the fiber content because it wasn't listed in this long list of ingredients.
Yeah.
This is one of the things we don't like about processed foods.
Yeah, it's a quandary in my head right now, and I will tell you, we tested our blood glucose. We do not know what it did to our insulin because you cannot test insulin at home yet.
And we know that non-nutritive sweeteners can have a pretty significant what's called a cephalic phase response, where they do initiate a release of insulin in the absence of having high blood glucose. So that would have been nice to know. Unfortunately, we still don't have any way of testing that.
Yeah. I will tell you this though. These things are dangerous, right? So we had this big egg breakfast 3 hours prior. Now I'm eating calories more in line with what Keith would eat, so we could, both be kind of comfortable. I was not hungry. And I went and I thought, yeah, I'm not hungry for this bar. I took 1 bite of it, and my next thought was, I could eat 2 of these bars.
Yeah, dangerous.
They are dangerous, yeah. So anyway, with that thought, let's move on to lunch. So 3 hours pass. It's about 1 o'clock, I believe it was, and we had a salad, a high-fat, low-carb salad that I put together, and I do actually have this on our website, drbeckyfitness.com. We'll point you to it if you're interested in knowing what exactly went into this, but it's 500 500 calories.
And you actually made my salad for me so that it would be exactly the same.
I weighed
So
everything out.
I just sat down and ate.
Yeah, well.
Nice.
So what happened with our blood glucose after that?
We had a tiny little bit of a raise, but not much.
Yeah, you actually went right down. Actually, we both went down right afterwards. So there's that high volume, high fiber, high fat response. It is a good meal to keep you satisfied for a long time and keep your blood sugar stable.
Yep.
So good for you, salad.
Yep.
Then we moved on 3 more hours. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and we had 2 Michelob Ultra beers each. And we chose Michelob Ultra because we have tested different alcohols before on our channel.
Yep.
And that one was a winner as far as not affecting our blood glucose in a negative way or ketones.
We are still waiting for the endorsement contract from Michelob Ultra. So
Yes.
Michelob, if you're watching this, give us a call. You know how to reach us.
Yeah, maybe we could get like a campaign going.
I'd like a hat or something. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, all right. A couple
Yeah, a
t-shirts
little
and a hat.
swag,
Well,
yeah,
a little bit. So after we had the beer, we both had what we anticipated, which was a little bit of a drop in our blood glucoses.
Right. And we've done the testing before on this channel, so you know that the kind of the theory on that is that your liver has to handle that alcohol, so it's going to stop any gluconeogenesis that's going on. It's going to stop any ketone production that's going on. Your blood glucose is going to drop a little bit. Type 1 diabetics, type 2 diabetics as well, especially on medication, are warned about alcohol intake.
Yes.
Because it can lower your blood glucose, like we see in our results.
Yep. So that is something to keep in mind. And then our last meal we had was chili. It was a very low carb chili, no beans in it. And after we ate that, of course, we both had just a little bit of a jump. And then, of course, you keep going up and I keep going down.
Yeah. Now, that was my highest jump of the day. It went up like 10 points over 2 hours, but I was still under 70, so it's not like it did much to me.
Yeah. And we've talked about how your blood glucose is lower than mine, and possibly in relation to that 10-day fast that you had done. That's opening a can of worms that we probably don't want to go into here. But one thing that I do want to mention before we get off here is that we weren't looking specifically at ketones, our ketone levels in this, but we did get curious around 4 o'clock, actually right before we had the beers.
No way we're going to be poking our fingers each hour of the day.
Okay. Yes. But we did do that one time around 4 o'clock, and you had 0.5 ketones, and I had 0.7, which was kind of interesting because we really weren't overly focused on how many carbs we were.
Yeah, and the day before, I hadn't really watched my carb intake real strong, that I was pushing to be in ketosis.
Yeah.
So being at 0.5 was good for me. I do want to say too that you resisted putting one of these things on for a while because you thought it was going to hurt.
Yeah.
But it just pops on there and you don't even feel it.
No, it's like putting a Band-Aid on your arm.
Yeah.
There was literally no
It'll probably
pain.
hurt more just because you have to peel the sticky stuff off when you take it off.
Yeah. So there you go. You guys, we do many tests on this channel, and you guys are always like, why are your metabolisms so different? Metabolisms are so different because we're so different.
Yeah.
And so, you really do have to hone your diet to yourself specifically. And I think that's probably the great takeaway here.
I think that is the takeaway. And we don't know if, because we kind of consider you the healthy metabolism and me the kind of, maybe a little bit damaged, because I was just in bad shape for a lot of years.
Yeah.
But we don't know what to make of this a lot of times.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is going into our whole, collection of data that you and I have had over the years. Always interesting. So, hey, thanks so much for watching through to the end. That helps us out with watch time.
Yep.
And it is a wonderful thing. And we appreciate you guys so much. Have a great week, and we will see you on the next video.